Man, what's going on, Erin?
Living the dream.
Hell yeah, you are.
Living the dream.
That's right, LTD in it all day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what day it is. Monday, Tuesday.
God damn!
I've actually, my goddamn, we want to jump right into it.
Let's hear it.
Had a lot of shit going on in my life. Had a sick minty bean. Cut about 5 inches off my hair.
You did? You can't even tell.
No, I know.
Your minty bee was needed.
Oh my God. It feels so much better. It feels light.
Man.
It feels healthy. And I did that thing where I went to brush it and then I went to go back up and it stuck in the brush and just created another knot. And I was like, oh, fuck this.
This
and
isn't going to happen anymore.
hacked it all off.
Good for you.
Yeah. So now I got to get it fixed because it's not great. But
It looks pretty. Also, I really want to dye your hair different colors again. Like, you're the only hair I can touch and braid and do all those things with, and we haven't hung out in forever, and I haven't been able to do it, and then I haven't been around your little girl enough to do it. Like, these hands.
need braids.
They need to do something.
Need to braid.
Exactly.
I feel ya. And I want to enjoy that treatment again.
Should I just, like, YouTube how to cut hair?
Yes.
And then we'll just practice on your head?
Yes.
And then you'll have to practice on mine, which will be much harder because I have no hair.
Yours is so pretty though. I don't want to mess it up.
I need to go get mine done again. I'm at your state right now where I'm like, oh, it's time.
It's time.
Like, half the time I just bun it up.
Yeah.
I mean, I did it today because I wanted to feel good about myself.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm tired of feeling like a rat.
I don't want a ponytail every day. That's
Yeah.
where I was at
Yeah.
too. It was like,
Yeah.
it's just one long ass ponytail.
Oh, well, and it's like I don't have any hair to bring down, so it's just like slicked back, and I
Same.
have complexes from middle school.
Same.
You
yeah.
look like a boy. I'm like,
You look just like my
I'm just
brother.
a human.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh.
It's
And
not
then-
a boy or girl. I'm just human, man.
I was telling Brandon, I was like, I'm just so fucking tired of it. If it was up to me, like, and socially acceptable, I'd just buzz it all off. And he was
Honestly.
like, do it. And I was like,
Let's do
you
it.
be so careful.
You gotta be careful what you say, man.
'Cause,
I am
ooh.
unhinged.
And I've never seen my head, like, bald before.
Oh, it's gotta be the worst.
It's gonna be such a weird fucking shape, but I am unhinged. It's close.
Yeah.
Like,
girl, you're not telling me anything I don't already know or haven't already thought of.
Yeah.
I know. And I'm like, well, if I did it, no one could stop me.
right?
You know, it would
Especially
just be
if you
done.
just do the middle part first.
Ooh.
Right down. You gotta finish it, you know?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, that is a commitment. You know, my ass would be like trimming
I know.
progressively, and
I
then
know.
I'd give up at one spot, and I'd just be like, that's how it is now.
Oh, we just have a weird pixie cut now. It's a little choppy in the back because we can't even it out because there's not enough.
Right. Well, good for you. Hey, we
Thanks.
should go get our hair did soon or something.
I'm down.
Maybe we could take the baby girls and
Oh, that'd be fun.
make it our spa day.
Yeah, I'm down. It feels so much better.
Good for
and
you.
I highly recommend it to anyone who's struggling out there.
Yeah. Grab some scissors if you're having a solid minty bee and just chop that hair off. Huh?
Uh-huh.
That's
Kitchen
the way to do
scissors.
it.
The ones
Kitchen
with the yellow
scissors.
handle or the orange handle. you
Right.
know, in
All
case-
purpose.
They
Cut chicken,
also
pizza,
cut-
paper, hair.
You can cut up other shit while you're doing it.
They turn into 10 snips in a pinch.
They do. They're whatever you need. Pliers.
Yep.
or-
I got me a set of those. I'm aware.
Yeah. Oh, man. But it feels so much better now. So,
Oh, good for you.
you know,
You want to
it'll
hear my goddamn?
stave off the fucking depression for a couple more weeks.
I hope so. I'm rooting for it. If
Thank
not,
you.
I'm here. I can help stave it off.
Yes, I do want to hear your goddamn.
Mine is that I went to go get gas. I have so many for the record, but this is the one I could think of right now. I went to go get gas on Halloween in the morning, and when I went to go pop my tank, like door, I don't
Yeah.
know, that little pop thing.
Yeah.
It's right next to my hood one too, and I accidentally pulled the hood, and so it went pop, right? And I went, I'm an idiot, and then I popped the gas, and then I got gas, and then I proceeded to forget that I popped the hood, and I've been
Oops.
driving around with my hood unpopped. Nothing's gonna fly anywhere because they're all safety latched down and shit now. But,
I mean,
it was a couple of days, and then
days.
yeah.
Girl, you went on the freeway and shit.
I did everything. I've just been cruising all around. And then Lee came in and he was like, did you pop your hood? And I'm like, oh, shit, days ago. And he's like, I closed it. I'm like, thanks. So anyway, you know, I've always had a fear of doing that. And then I
Yeah.
did it and proceeded to not give a flying fuck. Turns out nothing bad will happen.
I mean, let's not test that because I've seen bad happen.
That could have been so bad.
Oh my God, that could have been horrible.
But I think nowadays they all have that extra, like you have to pull up and then unclick it.
they've always had that though.
Not my car. Not all of my cars.
Really?
Well, no, I don't think
All of my
white
cars had the little
Festiva.
latch.
Maybe it did.
You had to like stick your hand in and move it to the
that's
side.
a nice
or whatever.
safety feature, you know?
Yeah. But those aren't as strong or reliable as like the closed ones.
Yeah, like clicking it down.
Yeah.
It's just a latch.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I've been doing a lot of dumb shit like that in my life lately. Like I'm so tired and I've overextended myself everywhere that I'm just making stupid life mistakes.
Yeah.
Like
Little things.
like dumb where I'm like, oh my God.
Oh,
like
no.
what happened? Like using the last of the toilet paper and then instantly forgetting to go get more until I go to the bathroom. And then I'm like, I fucking did this to myself.
100%. I do that all the time.
Yeah, it's so annoying.
Yeah.
I'm annoyed. I'm just inconvenienced perpetually. That's my goddamn.
That's how I live my life now. But
I know.
I blame it on the ADD because I'll like go to clean or something and you get halfway
That's
through
true.
cleaning something and then you turn around and you're like, well, in order to do that, now I have to do this thing. So then you put it all down and then you're like, go back and like, oh, the stove is on because I was going to make eggs or
Tortillas.
whatever. Yeah. And now my fucking butter is caramel and we got to start over.
I do that shit all the time too.
Yeah.
But I blame it on everybody else in my life. I'm like, if nobody was in this house, I could do this perfectly.
Yeah, nobody's in my house, and I'm still just like, anyway, let me fill up the cat's water, but while that's filling up, I'm going to go use the restroom. And
Those are my most productive days, though.
go do that and start the laundry, and then I'm like, why do I hear water running?
Yeah, and you're like, oh shit, I left the faucet on.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a good time
Yeah.
being in our fucking heads.
Stressful.
Yeah.
I saw a TikTok and it was like, how do you do it as a mom or something? And it's just this, like, you know, pretending to be a skeleton.
Oh,
Mom's
yeah.
just like fucking dead, pushing the kid on the swing with a skeleton
Fucking
arm.
dead.
Yeah. I'm not. I'm just here.
Yeah.
I'm living in the moment. Everybody's like, how wonderful of you. And I'm like, it's a necessity. I have no idea what's happening next.
Yeah.
Because if I did, I wouldn't be here.
I'm dead inside. My body is here doing the motions, and
Yeah.
I am elsewhere.
Precisely. We'll catch up.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Yeah, you want to hear some murder? You
Duh.
want to hear about other people's problems?
Da 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 da. That's why I come here every week. Commiserate about other people's issues.
Well, today I am going to tell you on episode 319 about Christian Longo.
Longo.
Sometimes I call him Christian, sometimes I call him Chris.
Oh, we're on a first name basis.
Mm-hmm.
Working on a nickname though.
Chris. So, Christian was born January 23rd, 1974, and he was raised in Ypsilanti, Michigan.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Ypsilanti.
Ypsilanti.
Okay.
It starts with a Y, so, you know, I had to look up how
Whoa.
to say that. His
How
parents-
progressive.
How progressive. His parents were Jehovah's Witnesses,
Okay.
and he was raised actively in the church, right?
So he didn't get to celebrate shit.
He didn't celebrate shit.
That's
And-
all I know.
Yes, and he went to church all the time, and then when he was a teenager, he got to be one of those door-to-door Jesus salesmen
Right.
who, the
Wearing their bike
missions or whatever.
helmets.
Yeah, they ride their bikes around and try to sell
White button up.
God to people.
Right.
Yeah, the white button up and the black pants. Everyone's
Right.
seen them.
Yeah, we've seen him.
Yeah. So he got to do that
Selling Jesus.
when he was
The word of God.
selling
the body
Jesus.
of Christ.
Exactly.
Well, pimping out Jesus. But only one specific word of Christ. Turns out he had a lot of teachings.
He did, yeah.
If
There's
you were aware.
a couple thousand different ones, and so he picked this one, Jehovah's.
The one.
Yeah,
The right one.
must be.
Uh-huh.
And so he was hanging out at the church a lot, right? He's real involved.
Yeah.
And one day he met a girl named Mary Jane Baker. She was in the parking lot of the church. I believe she was also involved in the church. That's why she was in the parking lot of the church.
I'm sure. That's
So
where everybody hangs out, the parking lot of the church.
That was
It's where you can do shady shit where God can kind of see.
it's God's back door.
Right.
Yeah. And Mary Jane was 7 years older than him.
Hot damn.
But she was interested. She was like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay, Susan.
Oh, okay. I guess.
Christopher.
Yeah, Christopher here. He was, Christian.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah,
Chris.
after Christ himself.
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah. So Christ, we're going to call him Christ,
Himself.
not Chris. So Christ himself. I guess he was a good-looking guy and he could,
Sure.
talk a good game and all that, right?
Okay.
I say I guess because I disagree, but that's fine.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Other people said they found him attractive.
Okay.
So Mary Jane is 7 years older than him, but she's like, oh, hey there, right?
Right.
And Chris had never dated before her.
Okay.
And was instantly smitten.
Sure. Right? He's like, wow, she's going to let me touch her.
Mm-hmm. He was so smitten, in fact, that shortly after they started dating, he went out and bought a 3.5-carat diamond ring.
Holy shit, 3.5? God damn.
Fucking
that shit was a blood diamond for sure.
Right? Yeah. That's
Oopsie.
A big diamond.
Yeah.
At least as far as my Googling has told me.
For sure.
And listen, he was 18/19 at the time.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did he do?
Oh, he proposed to her.
Well, no.
To pay for it?
How did he get that money? Yeah. The word of Christ? It must be expensive.
I don't think they pay well.
No?
I don't think Christ pays well. So
I mean, you get into heaven, from what I hear. The ultimate.
I guess, yeah. You got to save your soul to get to that
Who
point.
will save your soul?
Who will save? So he was paying for the ring in installments.
Sure.
Obviously, right?
3 easy payments and 1 hard as shit one.
And 1 hard as shit payment. You're going to have to mail that shit in to someone else, and they're going to have to turn it in for you.
I can stamp one, stick to the...
Yeah.
So dumb. Okay. Sorry.
He couldn't really afford it, obviously.
Sure.
But he's like, nothing but the best for my baby, right?
Obviously.
So he got it anyway. And
you have to hold the attention of those older women.
Yeah.
With shiny things.
You gotta propose. A woman, you gotta make an honest man out of her, right?
Yeah.
Woman? Woman.
Right.
Out of her.
Now, is carrot a weight?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think. Or is it clarity? I don't know.
No, because the more the carrot, the bigger the diamond.
Yeah, I thought it was.
It's not like the clearer.
Yeah.
I think clarity's measured in clarity.
Yeah, I think you're right. I
I don't know the point system, but...
So it's probably a really shitty 3.5 carat.
Yeah, that's just so foggy. It's not even clear.
It doesn't even throw any sparkles anywhere. At the time, he was living with some other Jehovah's Witnesses, right, as his roomies, and he was
a Johos.
Uh-huh. And he was working at a camera store, okay?
Oh, like Kodak?
I think, yeah. Like
Canon?
Like we'll develop your film and also sell you a camera.
Sure.
Remember how those used to be around?
Yeah, like a film shop?
Yeah.
Photo hut?
They called it a camera store, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I assume it's
shack?
that.
Okay.
Yeah. And obviously, he knows he has to pay rent and for the ring, but he wasn't the best with money, and he liked to buy stuff and have the fancy, flashy, expensive stuff.
I feel
right?
like I can tell. Like
Right.
he bought her a 3.5 carat diamond
When you're 18 years old. Like you,
Yeah,
that's a decision. All right.
was.
So naturally, he was short on cash one month, and he decided to steal from his work, the camera store. He stole $108.
Oh shit, that's a lot of money.
Back in the 80s it was, yeah, and even more, right?
Right.
And so the next day, the owner noticed that the money was missing, and he questioned everyone, but Chris denied it, right? And then allegedly that night he felt bad, and so he decided to write a check for the missing money, and he left that on the counter and a letter of resignation and was like, sorry I stole, bye, right? Like,
but
won't
wrote
do
him
that
a
again.
check.
Yeah, he wrote him a check, like
Ratted
made it
himself
better.
out.
Yeah, ratted himself out and was like, I am not going to go back there though.
Right.
Like,
Good luck cashing this.
Fucking right.
There ain't nothing in there.
I quickly deposited that $108.
Right? Sure.
Yeah. So since that meant that he didn't pay his rent, because now he gave the money back, right?
Yeah.
His roomies were pretty pissed.
Okay, yeah.
They have to make up for his half, right? And they told the elders of the church, because I guess that's like mommy and daddy, right?
Yeah.
And they can like scold him for it.
They're like, Jesus isn't going to let you in if you don't pay your rent, homie.
So they were pissed, and he had stolen. They found out that he stole, which is, I guess...
That's a niche.
It's against those Johos rules.
Yeah.
And the church sanctioned Chris, which, to my understanding, is like a religious timeout, kind of. So he got some privileges taken away, and I think you're like knocked down a couple pegs. Like,
Right. Ooh.
yeah.
How embarrassing.
Yeah. One of the privileges that they took away was that he and Mary Jane could no longer get married in the church.
Scandalous.
I know.
How will God see?
How? I don't know.
I don't.
He sees all.
Either.
So-
Well, Then why
Either
do we
way,
care?
they risked it, and they were like, I guess we'll get married outside the church.
Okay, yeah.
And they got married soon after. I think it was 1993 at this point. And Chris was 19 years old, and Mary Jane was 26.
Damn.
Okay?
All right.
So they moved in together, and they were both working.
How is she going to marry a 19-year-old? Like 26? 19? Goddamn, that's like a kid.
As a child.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I feel like at 26, you're starting to not be a kid anymore, you know?
Yeah, you're starting to realize the generational gaps when you're like, oh, they're babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Mm-hmm. So they moved in together, and they were both working, and Chris carried on being bad with money, right?
Right, because he's 19.
He's 19 years old, but now he has 2 incomes to spend,
Ooh.
which is great, right?
That is great.
He liked nice clothes and vacations and cars, and soon he had maxed out all of their credit cards.
Uh-oh.
And then they had a baby,
Okay.
who they named Zachary. And
Binks? No.
I wish. I've watched that movie so much lately.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, I should.
My kids love it.
Oh, I haven't showed it to mine.
Baby girl runs around going, Zachary Binks.
Aww.
Makes me happy. So they had this baby named Zachary, and taking care of a baby is a lot of work, as you
Sure.
know.
You'd be so tired.
So Mary Jane quit her job so that she could care for the child.
Uh-oh.
And then the couple had 2 more kids in the next 2 years.
Holy shit. It doesn't sound like maybe she's very good with money either.
Well, I think he was hiding a lot of it from her.
Oh, okay.
So they had 2 girls, Sadie and Madison. So now they have Zachary, Sadie, and Madison.
Mm-hmm.
And now that Chris is the only breadwinner, he's like, oh, shit, I have to make more money. I actually got to make this work, right?
Yeah, we got to do something.
Mm-hmm. And he started a construction cleanup business with another member of the Joho's church.
He's like, I got brooms and buckets. We gonna clean this bitch up.
I got a truck. We got to load up some debris.
Right.
And put it in there. And they did really well right off the bat. They had a bunch of clients and all that, and they expanded super quickly.
All right. People were like, yeah, I don't want to pick this shit up.
Hell yeah. They're like, you'll do this shit for me? And Chris was in charge of the finances. And unfortunately, they expanded a bit too quickly.
Uh-oh.
And that put them in a ton of debt.
Uh-oh.
So now the business had no profit, and Chris wasn't bringing home any money because everything was being spent to furnish their huge expansion, right?
Oh, no.
And the family credit cards are all still maxed out, right?
Oh, shit. This isn't good.
So despite this, Chris insisted on keeping up appearances with new cars and all that kind of stuff. Because everybody has to know that your business is doing well. And if they can't see that you're doing well, they assume your business is doing poorly, right?
Yeah, you got to hold up that perception.
That was his mentality. So he was still buying all that fancy shit. He even convinced his dad that his business was doing great, and his dad was so proud he invested tens of thousands of dollars into Chris's business.
Oh, no.
And Chris continued to spend beyond their means.
Uh-oh.
He bought 2 cars, and then he got a boat and 2 jet skis.
That's just like so much stuff to maintain.
Who needs a fucking boat? Brandon now wants to buy a boat. And I'm like, no.
I want a boat.
We'll rent one.
Like it's the worst investment, but
Yeah.
I want a boat.
We'll fucking find...
Don't we need
Chase
a
has a
pontoon?
boat. Chase has a boat.
Well, let's go hang out on Chase's pontoon.
There you go.
How come he's not inviting us?
I don't know. Chase. He's like, you have a podcast?
He's like, you guys have too many fucking kids.
He is. He's like a cat. He doesn't want to be disturbed. He goes out there to be on the water by himself.
Honestly, don't blame him. Take me with you.
That's the point. Leave the kids. So anyway, he had this boat, 2 jet skis, lots of cars, right?
Yeah.
But he told people that he had won the boat and the jet skis in a contest. But I don't actually think that that's
What
real.
luck.
What luck. Yeah.
One contest, or was that 3?
I don't know.
That had to be fucking first prize.
Sounds like a Price is Right showcase, you know?
Honestly, he didn't win a contest.
Do you mean the
You
show?
won a game show.
Yeah. So then, per usual, he wasn't able to make his payments, and his cars got repossessed.
Uh-oh, dog, the bounty hunter?
I'm
Rolled
assuming
in?
just tow truck guy who's like, check this shit out. You parked on the lawn because you think I can't get it, but I can. I love those TikToks.
I know.
Those are the best. I'm like, yeah, get it. Get it. They come out of their house running, chasing them.
And they're all like, go, go, go.
Yeah.
That's got to be such a fucking rush.
Oh, man. It's got to be great.
Yeah.
I would like to do that, you know, for like a week.
Yeah,
But I want to be good at it going into it so I could just experience the fun part.
Right.
So he got his cars repossessed. And so now he didn't have a car or a way to pay for one.
Yeah.
So he started to dabble in fraud.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not surprised.
Honestly. If you're going to spend money, you got to pretend to have money to spend.
Right, which would mean fraud.
Yeah. And so he
Like,
made...
I'm sure he's not paying taxes.
Right, exactly. So he made a fake driver's license, and he went and test drove a Pontiac, Montana.
He got a fake driver's license?
He made a fake driver's
He
license.
didn't have one? Did they take it away because he kept not paying for cars? They were like, you're not allowed to drive them now.
Well, no, listen. So he made a fake one, and
Yeah.
then he went to the dealership to drive a Pontiac, Montana, which is essentially a minivan, right?
Okay.
Just a big minivan. And then he just never brought it back to the lot.
Oh, okay.
And
so that's the point of it.
They're like, Chris Finkel or whatever
Yeah.
is fucking gone.
And he's like, it's Binks, bitch!
yeah.
Driving away.
You'll never catch me.
Doyle rules.
Yeah. Doyle rules. So he was like, fucking new car. Look
Yeah.
at that. They just let you take it right off the lot.
I'm sure there's no way to trace that.
Well, it was early 2000s, I think. Like
Yeah.
early 2000. So 1999/2000-ish.
Yeah.
So maybe they didn't have GPS and stuff in it then.
Yeah, but like a license plate? I don't know. A blue
Girl,
Chrysler, whatever you said it
I'm
was.
telling you, he has a car now.
Okay,
He did
he's-
not get it back. He was
got
like,
that
this
now.
is mine.
Jesus, what a time to be alive, you know?
Honestly. As long as you weren't still around when the cops came, you could get away with anything.
Dude, honestly, we did get to grow up in a cool little era.
It was
Because
great.
we did some shit that you
Yeah.
can't do now because there's cameras everywhere.
And it's not on the internet.
Yeah, and it's not on the internet. Exactly.
Yeah.
We had that cusp of the golden age.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, somehow MySpace got wiped out.
Fucking thank God. He came home with this new minivan and all that, right? But Mary Jane's not completely oblivious. And she noticed that they weren't getting any statements for the new car, right? Coming
Right.
in the mail.
She's like, how do we pay for this?
Yeah, like, what do I need to do here? And so then Chris forged those and mailed them to the house.
Oh my God, he's really going in.
Problem solved.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And so then in May of 2000, Mary Jane went snooping through his computer. I don't know if she was actually snooping or just, happened to be on it and
using
found some
it?
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, either way, she looked at his computer and she found some emails between him and another woman.
Uh-oh. He be sneaking and geeking on top of all this?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Rude. Yeah.
Very rude.
So she confronted Chris about it and he admitted to emailing another lady.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm. But then he doubled down and he told Mary Jane that he wasn't having fun in their marriage anymore since they had kids and that he didn't love her anymore.
Hey, no, that's not how this fucking works.
Mm-hmm. 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 And now I don't know what she said, but she stayed
Oh, no.
and they stayed together. I don't know how that conversation went because I feel
Sure.
like if someone told me they didn't love me anymore, I'd be like, well, I'm going to politely excuse myself then.
Right. Yeah, you can get the fuck out
Yeah. Yeah. And like, I'll
and
just
take your debt with you.
go back to the church. I'm sure they've got resources for her
Right.
and all that, right?
Yeah.
But she stayed.
Okay.
I assume the church frowns upon divorce too, so that
I'm
could have
sure.
had a
There
big
was
part in it.
And
And the appearances to play
Right.
that they're very concerned with.
people stay today still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she did tell the elders of the church, though,
Okay.
about it. She's like,
Right.
that he had been emailing some other bitch and all that, right?
Yeah.
And-
She's like, can you... the audacity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they got mad at him, and so they sanctioned him again, right? Yeah.
Scandalous. Twice? Is he even allowed back? How many
Uh,
marks you get?
I don't know. I guess 3 strikes.
Yeah. And then they're like, you don't get to believe in this anymore.
How many? Isn't there? Never
Rings
mind.
of Hell? I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like,
Dante's Inferno. I'm not
Times
sure.
that he got stabbed or something.
Oh,
like
girl,
you're
I
one
don't
of the
know.
fucking stabbings.
I'm sure.
I don't know. You
I'm
only get
sure.
so many.
Yeah. Until you can't breathe through the blood in your lungs anymore. And it's
Time. So,
time to go. You know what I mean?
know what I mean? Why don't you just exit this earth? Your body can stay. So they sanctioned Chris, I guess, the second strike. So meanwhile, he was still trying to make his business profitable, right?
Okay. Yeah, sure. Sure.
Because
It's like, this isn't working. Let's double down.
need more money. So he decided to make fake checks from
Oh, Jesus
companies
Christ.
that allegedly owed him money or owed his business money.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, no.
guessing it's probably just like existing customers that may have paid at some point. Not necessarily that they owed him money, but I don't know
Like,
that.
right. But he had their information to falsify.
But he had their information, and so he was writing bad checks, right?
And
I
was
guess
he getting money from it?
he was getting money from
Oh,
it, or the
shit.
business was making money from it.
Yeah.
And I guess it worked for a little while until the companies noticed, right? Like,
I already paid you.
why is it on here thrice, you know? Or
Thrice.
3 times the amount.
Right?
What's going on here? And so they contacted the police, who arrested him.
Oh, good.
And he actually faced charges for this. He pleaded guilty. He received 3 years probation and was ordered to pay restitutions from his
Okay.
business, right?
Yeah. He's like, where will I get this money from?
Yeah, well, the problem was he had been exaggerating about the amount of money that his company was making, and the amount that he was ordered to pay was based on that amount. So now he's forced to pay even more than would have been had he been honest in the beginning.
Right.
So now he's in like triple debt, right?
God.
Fucking
Yeah.
double secret probation.
Yeah.
Or
Double secret, double stamps, no take backsies.
double stamp, no take backsies, double secret probation. You can't, I don't know, come out.
You cannot. You are saying kshunda.
Swear
Bitch.
to
I swear.
Jehovah. You need to quit.
If you do this one more goddamn time,
Yeah.
the devil himself.
Well, the church was like, they read about it in the papers, all these bad checks and stuff.
I thought you could say in the Bible what was going to happen to him. I was like, tell me.
Fire
Tell
and
me what
brimstone.
they told him.
That's what I've heard.
It sounds toasty.
Kind of warm. Little warm. Dress light.
What is brimstone, you know?
Isn't it just like
Hot
fucking-
stone.
Yeah, I don't know, I guess. I always assumed it was like the netherite in Minecraft.
Me too.
You know? The
Yeah,
bedrock.
for sure. For sure it's netherite, but like...
But what is that?
Yeah, but like where is it, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. Around the hearth.
Obviously. Around the devil's hearth.
Hearth? I don't... Okay, so
Is
I don't
it
know.
hearth? It's just like the word caulk.
I don't...
Do we say the L? Do we not? I don't know.
I don't know. I like to say it because it makes people uncomfortable.
Me too.
I say
Especially
hearth
with the
because it
white.
sounds better. It's the heart of the house. The
I
hearth.
panic and I do whatever my mouth does.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's wrong. I think it's hearth, but I don't know for a fact. I say hearth.
Hearth house.
Hearth
Hearth
house.
house.
It sounds better.
Anyway,
should go there
fire
and
and
ask them.
brimstone is what he's in for.
Yeah. And the church was finally like 3 strikes, bitch.
Oh, this is third.
You're out now.
Okay,
Because it
so
was
they
the
did kick
cheating
him out.
was the second one. And now with the fake checks, they're like, bitch, too many times.
Not in Christ's house.
Not in this house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not in my house.
So they kicked him out of the church. And this all made him realize that he needed to do better and run his business the right way and all that, right?
Okay, it's a little late for that, my homie.
Well-
You've already tarnished your reputation,
Better late than never,
I suppose.
right? And so he's going to get a handle on his finances and his life and all that kind of
He's
stuff.
just going to talk to the cops and clear this all up.
Clear this whole thing up. But first, one last present for himself and his wife, right?
Okay, let's hear it.
He got her corrective eye surgery, which is a couple $1,000 now. I don't know what it was then.
That scares me, but
Yeah.
everybody loves it. But go on.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon did it. He loves it.
Yeah.
And then he got scuba lessons, obviously.
Weird.
As you do,
okay.
which I Googled runs between $600 to $900.
Jesus, he did like a whole lesson, huh?
Yeah, I
Just
guess.
like one day out on the water.
Well, that's like one day out on the water. I mean, it might be a couple days. I just Googled scuba diving lessons.
Well, I think you got to go for a certain amount of hours.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he went longer. I don't know. But
All right. He committed.
either way, it seems unnecessary if you're like, I'm going to get my finances order and finally figure this shit out.
Sure.
Anyway, I need to learn how to scuba dive.
Yeah.
Is that
Well, I don't
necessary?
know. It depends on what his motive here is. What's going on? I throw caution to no winds when I hear these stories. I'm like, who fucking knows? He's going to drown her ass and put her in a cave somewhere underwater.
Oh, God.
That's why he's getting his certification.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And he had a boat.
See?
Uh,
And 2 jet skis. I
You're
bet he has a
right.
tow rope to bring one back when she accidentally falls off.
Oh,
Go on.
man.
Carry on.
Oh, man. That's, listen, you're getting some good ideas here.
I am not short of good ones. It's the only kind I have.
Honestly. So that was our last hurrah, right?
Right.
And then
he was like, but now we're going to get serious.
now it's for real.
We
It's
buckle down now.
getting his finances in order.
Sure.
He did that by opening a credit card in his dad's name.
Oh, good.
And then-
Jesus Christ.
And then he racked up nearly $100,000 in debt.
How did he get
On
that
that.
much credit?
I don't fucking know.
Holy shit.
I don't know.
That's
Maybe his dad
impressive.
was like, had real good credit, was
Yeah.
part of the church, and had never steered wrong in his life.
Perhaps.
Yeah. So Chris was kicked out of the church, right?
Yeah. They
But-
said no more.
They said, you need to fucking leave. But Mary Jane and the kids were not.
Okay. Well, that's nice. Mary Jane and Wanda were the best of friends through their high school days. It's Marianne, but okay, go on.
So members of the congregation would stop by often to make sure that she's okay.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. But Chris didn't like that.
Why?
Well,
they were still together, right? Even
yeah,
though
they're
he was
still
kicked out of
together.
the church. She stayed with him.
Yeah, she's
Wow,
still
she
with him.
Really loved him.
Yeah, and he didn't like it because the church was like, hey, he's kind of a bad guy. He's not allowed with us, right? And so
Right.
then they're telling her those things, so he didn't like that they're coming and
Sure.
talking to her, right?
Yeah.
And the creditors kept calling, right?
God,
to
this
try
guy is
and...
not doing so good.
No, they're trying to get their money back, and he was like, we're getting too many visitors here.
Yeah, it's getting a little hot on my trail here.
Mhm.
Got
So
too many loose ends.
He decided it was time to move out of
town.
state.
Yep.
So they moved. He up and moved the entire family to Toledo, Ohio.
Oh.
Even though he was still on parole and he wasn't allowed to leave the state. I think he told his parole officer
Sure,
about that.
doesn't sound like it.
But he was a white man, so it's fine, right?
So they can do whatever they want.
The rules don't apply to him.
They get to create their own reality.
So they moved into a warehouse that Chris said that he was going to renovate into a beautiful loft home, right?
Beautiful.
But in the meantime, they were living without a kitchen or adequate plumbing.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
They were literally living in a warehouse.
Living in a warehouse, yeah,
Uh-oh.
with 3 kids.
Oh, no.
Children, like
Yeah.
2, 3, and 4 years old.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, good thing they don't have school yet.
I know, right?
Makes it a little easier.
Yeah. Well, that would make it easier. Yeah, they don't have to document where they are and all that. Chris also lied to Mary Jane, saying that the rent had been paid on this warehouse for 6 months, but in reality, he was still cashing bad checks and paying for everything through that, right?
Oh, God.
After moving to Ohio, Mary Jane fell out of contact with her family.
No, that's like the worst case scenario.
Yeah. Well, and he moved her away from everyone. So
I
she didn't have her
know.
church. She didn't have the family. She's isolated now, away
Uh-oh.
from her whole safety net. And her family was concerned that Chris was isolating her and
Yeah.
isolating her from the church, which is bad when you're in religions, right? If you
Right.
got to be able to go there and do all your stuff, right?
Right.
Whatever it is that they do there. So
Worship.
eat crackers. So Mary Jane's
That's
sister,
the body of Christ, but okay.
sorry, oyster crackers. So
God, I'm
good.
so hungry. They sound delicious. I could use some of Christ's body right now.
I could really go for his blood.
Girl, same.
So Mary Jane's sister, Sally, drove to Toledo to find Mary Jane.
Oh, okay. Go. Get it, Sally.
She knows she's somewhere in this town, can't get a hold of her, and is like, hey, man.
I'm going to find her.
I'm going to fucking save her ass, right?
Good for her.
So she literally just canvassed the neighborhood, just drove around looking for her
knocking on doors?
until, not knocking on doors, but she saw their dog outside of the warehouse and was like, that's their fucking dog,
Oh, shit.
and found where they live, right?
Detective Sally.
Yeah. She was able to speak to Mary Jane, but Mary Jane refused to leave with her. She refused to go back to
Oh, no.
Michigan with her. And it's her choice, it's her
Right.
family and all that. And so Sally had to leave her there.
Right. But she found her.
Yes.
She found her.
After Sally found them, the cops started to catch on to Chris
Living in a warehouse.
as well and cashing all these bad checks. They got word that he was selling some stolen machinery.
Oh.
And so they were gearing up to arrest him, right?
Yeah. Can't do that.
So Chris up and moved his entire family again.
Mhm.
And he stole a Penske truck.
Oh. One of them bright yellow ones?
One of them bright fucking, it's right there.
It's so bright. That's like a rider truck, too.
How did you not fucking, okay. I don't know how he got it off the lot. I don't know what happened there, but it was stolen. Maybe he rented it and was like, here's that $20 down or whatever, and
Right?
just never fucking paid for the rest of it. But he drove the truck and Mary Jane drove the stolen minivan, right?
Uh-huh.
Allegedly, she had no idea that it's stolen or anything, right?
Sure. She was just an innocent bystander here.
Yeah.
In all of this.
Yeah. She also had no idea that they're essentially running from the law now, right?
that's
he's
crazy.
like, we gotta go. And she's like, fucking now? Like, all right,
All right,
whatever.
let's go.
Yeah.
I
Running
feel like
from
she
the
had
law.
to know something.
I don't know.
Like,
I mean,
that's
she
pretty
has to.
fishy.
The church was like, he's writing bad checks, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
they knew, so they had to have told her.
Right.
But I don't know. She trusted him. So they're running from the law. They stayed in campsites and motels, and they moved around a lot. They even sold Mary Jane's wedding ring for
Oh, shit.
a couple $100.
That's
this
it?
3.5 fucking carat diamond.
Yeah, it's a couple grand.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Mary Jane's family was becoming increasingly worried about her staying with him, and they filed a missing persons report.
Oh, shit.
Because now he's hopping around with her, and they
Yeah.
can't get in contact with her. They don't know where she is, all that, right?
Yeah.
And Chris moved the family out to Waldport, Oregon.
Okay.
They rented out someone's vacation house there, but
Didn't pay for it.
couldn't make the payments,
Yeah.
obviously. So after a few weeks, they were forced to leave. So it was a vacation home, and it had some, like, crab rings, I guess, like fishing stuff. I don't know if it was decoration or if it was real.
Like a crab net.
Yeah, but it was
Yeah.
there. And so he stole those to sell them.
Oh, shit.
Used, I Googled, they go for between $10 and $60. So
Not that much.
just kind of seems like he's being petty at that point, or like
Yeah.
an asshole.
He probably
right?
just needs anything.
That too.
Just enough gas money. You know?
Right, to get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So they moved into a bayfront condo with a gorgeous view.
What the fuck?
In the
I mean,
same
they're
town.
like, we might as well.
Well, I guess Chris went and talked to the manager and was like, I work for whatever phone company, and, you know, my check hasn't come in yet, but it should have been, like, it's coming, it's here, blah, blah, blah. So he somehow convinced the manager to let them move in without a deposit and without anything,
shit.
right? And they did. And then Chris got a job at Starbucks.
Okay.
But, of course, he told everyone that worked there that he was only working there because he really liked the coffee. And, like, he's actually wealthy and he has an internet business. And
Sure.
he's, you know, I'm only here because I really like the coffee, blah, 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 right?
Sure.
And everyone's just like, yeah, can you cover my shift?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a caramel macchiato. Iced.
Right? Anyway, so
Okay. I feel like I've worked with those kind of people.
100%.
And I'm like,
yeah. I don't even need this job. And I'm like, okay.
You weird me out.
Yeah.
And then don't stand so close to me.
Don't stand. So, obviously, he started missing rent on the condo, right?
Yeah.
Per usual.
Shocker.
Mm-hmm. And he knew that he would soon have to move his family again. So, on the night of December 16th, 2001, he was sitting out on his balcony, looking out over the bay,
Enjoying the view that he can't afford.
enjoying the view that he can't afford, and he made a plan that would solve all his problems.
I'm sure he did. What'd he do? What'd
No.
he decide to do?
We don't know exactly what happened.
Uh-oh.
But over the next couple of days, Chris rented some movies and he went to a Starbucks Christmas party alone. He told everyone at that party that his wife had left him for another man.
Oh, she's gone.
And then on December 19th, a man in an RV park by the bay found the body of a child at the edge of the water.
No.
The body was recovered, and they made a computer analysis of what he looked like, and they circulated that through the town to be like, hey, who's missing a kid? You know?
But yeah, that looks like this.
Does anyone know who this is? And lo and behold, a neighbor of Chris's came forward saying that she recognized the child as Zachary Longo, a neighbor kid that she occasionally babysat for.
Oh, no.
And she gave him Chris's address.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the moment that Chris heard that a body was recovered, he fucking bounced.
Sure, he's not going to be back at that bay condo.
Mm-hmm. So he drove to San Francisco, and he applied at another Starbucks there, but then I guess he decided against it, and he kept driving south to Cancun, Mexico.
Oh, shit. Okay. He's like, I can mix drinks.
He's like, I'm just going to live down there.
Yeah.
He went by a different name. I think it was like Michael Finke or something like that.
Okay.
I don't remember. I didn't write it down. But he told everyone that he was a journalist. Okay? And I guess
Okay.
that was a journalist. Like, he took this guy's name.
Identity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He met a group of British travelers. He was hanging out with them, smoking pot, touring the ruins, doing all that kind of
God.
stuff. Basically being like, yeah, I'm going to write about all this and
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And
He's
he's
really just enjoying his life here, huh?
enjoying his life, and he's flirting with the chicks and having a good time.
Oh, my God. And he just offed his whole family. Holy shit.
Maybe. Don't jump ahead.
Allegedly.
So
Seems
meanwhile,
kinda suspicious.
back up north in Oregon, the cops get to Chris's house to question him, right?
Yeah.
Realize that he's gone. And so they continue their investigation. Because at first he's just wanted for questioning, like, hey, man, is your kid missing?
Right,
You know?
right.
He may have fallen into the lake or whatever.
I think we found
Or
him.
the bay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we found him. So he's gone. They continue their investigation. In the same area, 3 days later, or 3 days after Zachary was found, they found 3-year-old Sadie under the water with a pillowcase tied around her ankle with a big-ass rock in it.
Oh, my God.
Hate it. And then on December 27th, divers searched the marina that was across from the condo that Chris and his family were staying in, and they found 2 suitcases.
Oh my
One
God.
had the body of 2-year-old Madison and a dumbbell and some clothing.
Oh, my gosh.
And the other one had the nude body of Mary Jane.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, and here's where you're going to tell me that they did not drown and they were already dead and they died a peaceful death, and then this was him getting rid of them.
So the
That's
medical
the only
examiner,
way this can be even minorly okay in my head. And not okay by any means, but you know what I mean.
you'll get half of that. So the medical examiner said that Sadie and Zachary were killed by asphyxiation,
Okay.
and Madison and Mary Jane had been strangled.
Okay.
Mary Jane also had blunt force trauma to her face.
Oh, my God.
And then the part that will kind of upset you more is that there was some controversy, I guess, with how the 2 older children, Sadie and Zachary, died. The medical examiner said that they asphyxiated, but I guess someone else was saying that they had drowned. I don't know.
Oh, no.
We don't know.
Oh, no.
It's not proven that
Yeah.
But there
Oh my
was some
God.
controversy around it.
Oh, my
okay?
God. That is so awful.
Yeah. So once they found the rest of the family, right, and they don't find Chris, they immediately put him on the FBI's top 10 most wanted list, right?
Okay.
And a man came forward saying that, because now his picture's circulated.
Yeah.
So a man comes forward saying that he had seen Chris in a dark red minivan, which is what he owned, over near the marina where the suitcases were dumped.
Oh, how convenient.
Now, I'm not sure how exactly, but investigators were able to find Chris down in Cancun.
Oh, dang.
And they went down there and they met with him and they're like, hey, man, you did some shit back with her.
Right. You can't do that.
Mhm.
So come here.
Basically, we have you dead to rights here.
Yeah.
You killed your whole family and left.
Right.
Just come back with us and
Let's
we'll
smooth this all over.
we'll sort this whole thing out. But if you don't come back with us, then we're going to have to get you extradited and you're going to have to spend months in this Mexican prison, blah, blah, blah. And so
Right.
he was like, well, I don't want to do that shit.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just go with you, right?
Okay.
So he went with them. But it turns out that Mexico won't extradite if the death penalty is on the table.
Ah.
I don't know if that's still accurate, but I guess it
Interesting.
was back in 2000, right?
Yeah. That's interesting. They're like, well,
Or
you can't
2002.
kill anybody from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you're going to kill them, we're not going to just send them back.
Yeah.
But life in prison, sure, right?
Huh.
But he didn't know that, I guess. Or he
Okay.
didn't know that Oregon had the death penalty.
Okay.
And so he's like, I guess I'll go back. And allegedly, he didn't find out that Oregon had the death penalty until he was already on the plane going back up. And he was like, fuck.
Oh, no.
They wouldn't have extradited him.
Oh, gotcha.
Got him. Either way. So he's brought back to Oregon. And in 2003, he was facing 4 counts of murder.
Jesus Christ.
He pleaded guilty to the murders of Madison and Mary Jane, but he refused to put a plea in for Zachary and Sadie. So the state put in a not guilty plea for him.
Interesting.
Okay? He took the stand.
Oh,
and
good.
he told his side of the story.
Oh, let's hear it. What is his side?
Which
What happened?
is
Yeah.
everything was fine.
Uh-huh.
I had it all under control.
Sure.
Until December 15th, when he and Mary Jane had a date, and Mary Jane told him that she felt that the family was finally in a good place and was going to do really well there in their new bayfront condo. And, like,
She loved it.
yeah, she was happy now and everything is great, but she was still disappointed in all of his previous lies. So, like, from here on out, clean slate, no
Starting
lies.
fresh.
Right?
Yeah.
And he was like, absolutely.
I have so many lies.
yeah. Yeah. And so he kind of stewed on it, allegedly, that night. He stewed on it and was like, sure, whatever you say.
Yeah.
And then by the next day, he decided he needed to come clean with all of his lies.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, hey, by the way.
So we can't actually live here.
Yeah. The rent isn't paid on the condo and the
I
minivan is
stole
stolen.
this. Yeah.
The gas in the tank of the minivan is stolen. Basically, our entire life is stolen. And
Our whole life is a fraud.
our
Yeah.
whole life is a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Mary Jane freaked out, screaming at him and allegedly hitting him. And she told him that she couldn't trust him anymore.
Yeah.
valid.
Right. Checks out.
Yeah, I mean, maybe don't hit because that's rude, but
Sure.
also
But I kind of don't
pretty
really
fucked up.
believe everything he says. So,
that too. So Chris went to sleep on the couch, right? 'Cause now he's in the doghouse.
Yeah. She's like, God damn it.
And when he woke up a few hours later, he went to check on her, and she had thrown up on the floor. Okay.
All right.
He says that...
Because he poisoned her?
No, I don't think so.
She's just so upset.
Yeah, just so stressed, and her,
She just threw up right on the floor.
tummy was in her nuts. Yeah, like a mom is not going to throw up on the floor. Fuck
No,
you, man.
no.
If there's any way to help it.
No, I have to clean it up. I'm
Exactly.
going to try to make it in something. At least on the blankets of the bed, and I could ball them up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Floor?
No.
So he says that he then begged her to let him stay home from work to watch the kids so that she could get some rest and get her head on straight, right?
No.
But she wouldn't allow it, and she made him go to work. And so he went. And then when she came to pick him up from work, she was only wearing a bathrobe and socks, and the kids weren't with her. Now, again, this is all according to Chris.
Sure.
Right? So she drove him home in silence.
In just her bathrobe and socks.
Mm-hmm. And
Damn, Lee would be like, are you trying to seduce me?
hello. Where are the kids? I don't care. I assume you have that taken care of. Yeah, no, he was panicked because I guess that was out of the ordinary.
Yeah, she's like off her fucking rocker. He's like,
Yeah.
oh shit, I've really done it now.
oh no. And then she wouldn't talk to him the whole ride. And so he's like, what's going on? Right?
Okay.
So when they pulled up to the house, she allegedly started whimpering and didn't want to go inside.
Whimpering? Like a hurt dog?
Yeah. And so he essentially carried her inside where she broke down and, wouldn't stand and blah, blah, blah. So he looked around the house.
Stand.
Yeah,
All right.
I know, just so broken. So he looked around the house and he found Madison's body lifeless on the bed.
Oh my God, he's going to blame her.
And he went back to Mary Jane, allegedly. And he started freaking out and asking her what the hell happened, where the other kids were, all that, right? And allegedly, she told him, you did this, you killed us. And she said that the other two kids were, quote, in the water.
Mm-mm.
And
I don't believe him.
No. And so he panicked, obviously.
Yeah.
And he beat her up, and then he manually strangled her. He... his hands got tired or hurt or something, so he, stopped at one point and had to, reposition and do it again until she was finally dead. And then he grabbed the 2 suitcases to dispose of the bodies. Mm-hmm. But upon doing so, he realized that Madison was still alive. The baby, the 2-year-old, was still alive.
Hallelujah.
Well, you would think. However, he had already fucking given her to Christ or whatever in his mind. He was like, well, I already considered her dead.
No.
So he just went ahead and asphyxiated her.
Yeah, sure.
But when that didn't seem to be working, he strangled her.
Oh my God.
And then he put their bodies in the suitcases, and he said that he put the dumbbell and the extra clothes in the suitcase with Madison to make her more comfortable because he's just so considerate.
What? What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
The dumbbell? It really brought her a lot of comfort, knowing that she would be at the bottom of this.
Knowing that it would keep
bed.
her safe at the bottom. Yeah. And
what the fuck?
Uh-huh.
Obviously, there's no,
there's no truth to
logic.
this. This is all a lie.
Bullshit.
Or whatever he fucking told the court, right?
Right.
So then, after that, he dumped the suitcases in the water and took off to Cancun, but he didn't know what she had done with the other children, other than she had killed them and put them
And those are the ones that the state entered not guilty on, right?
Those
For
are the
him.
ones, that the state entered not guilty, because he didn't admit to that or whatever, right?
Okay.
So the prosecution was like, sure.
Bet.
Except that Mary Jane was only 110 pounds and physically wouldn't have been able to lift these giant rocks that were in the pillowcase, I guess.
Really?
Yeah, and the 3 and 4-year-old, it would have been near impossible for her to do.
Oh, wow.
At her size,
Yeah.
right? So
So it was a bad lie.
bad lie.
Yeah.
Chris was found guilty on all 4 counts, and he was sentenced to death on April 16th, 2003.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm. But on December 13th, 2022, it was commuted to life without parole. And
Oh, really? Wow.
everyone else was on death row in Oregon, too. I don't know if they got rid of the
okay.
death penalty. I didn't look that close into it.
Interesting.
But everybody got off death row.
Huh.
Just another little side note is right before he was taken off of death row in 2011, he founded Gifts of Anatomical Value from Everyone, which advocates for prisoners on death row to be able to donate their organs instead of them going to waste, I guess.
Huh.
Which I don't mind.
Anatomical value, huh?
I guess. From anyone. From everyone. Sorry.
I wonder how you define the anatomical value.
Well, liver, I guess.
Yeah. But, like, where do you draw the line?
I mean, take it all if they're dead.
I guess, huh? Anyway,
Yeah.
well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
God damn it.
Saves, I guess.
I said it.
Yeah.
What?
Rough one, huh?
I can't believe that he just murdered his entire family all off of just money fraud.
Yeah.
I want to know what
But
his
it's his
life
whole
was like.
life.
Like, why was it like that?
I don't know.
Did he lie to her from the very beginning? You gotta assume so.
I think so, because he
Jesus.
bought her that ring that he could not afford. And so then they were saying, or another article said that I think he may have been adopted. I didn't really go into it because I didn't want to give him any more excuses or anything, you know?
Sure.
I was in that stage of my researching where you're bitter.
Yeah. Like, fuck you, dude. You killed your whole family.
Yeah. But someone had said that he was adopted by his Jehovah's Witness parents, and before that he had witnessed his biological parents fighting, which...
Oh. Okay. Yeah, who didn't? You know?
Didn't you send me a TikTok?
Yeah. Like,
Us dancing in this room while a whole divorce happens in that room?
exactly. I was thinking about that. I'm like, it was never my house. I was so lucky that my parents never fought in front of me, but I knew when they were pissed. You
Yeah.
know? Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't like a secret.
No. And I was dancing in many a friend's bedrooms when their parents were
Oh.
getting divorced in the next room.
Loudly.
Yeah.
Me too. Where it was like, I was abused by other parents,
Yeah.
but like, it was like, I learned a lesson.
Yeah,
You
an
know? Like,
emotional abuse.
yeah.
I'm just going to go wait in your room till my mom comes.
Exactly. Or like you would just stay in their room and be
Mhm.
like, your dad's yelling at you.
Yeah. Do you need to answer that?
Yeah. Yeah. Then you just hear them screaming and they come back in and they're like, whatever, let's keep going. And you're like, okay.
I think he said to stop.
I think he said we're being loud.
We could stop. Yeah.
They're
Anyway,
drunk anyways. And you're like, okay.
They won't remember it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what is that? Just kidding.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Well,
Anyway.
goddamn. Anyway, if you guys want to check out pictures pertaining to Erin's case, go to our social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, X, and TikTok. Our handle is @ISGD Podcast. If you're on Facebook, come join the goddamn pod group. We all hang out and talk shit and talk cool stuff. It's fun. Join. We love
Do
you.
it. It's called the goddamn pod group, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to email us, you can do that at isgdpodcast@gmail.com, or you can snail mail us at
P.O. Box 2764, Spring Valley, California, 91979.
9. Send us your holiday cards, because it's that time of the year, and we need to fill up our corkboard.
Yeah, we do. We should do that again. Maybe
That's
we'll do like...
you thing. I'm not signing us up for it if you're
No,
not
I
willing
agree.
to do it.
Maybe we'll do like Valentine's cards.
Maybe we'll feel like it in February.
You know?
Anyway, we fucking love you guys, and thanks for being awesome. Bye.
Bye.